Hey everybody, it's Miss Sigmund here. We are going to work through lesson 1-3 together today on the midpoint and distance formulas. Before we get started, make sure you have those guided notes printed and ready to work along with me. Have a pencil nearby and an eraser in case we make a mistake. And have your calculator handy because there's going to be some decimals in some of these examples and you might want your calculator. So here we go, let's get started. This first example asks us to explore with LaTanya as she's decorating her living room. And that's great and all. She's gonna want to hang a picture in the center of her back wall. And she says, how do you find the point at the center between A and B? And I am recording this video from my kitchen because LaTanya and I have something very much in common here. So let me make this video bigger for us. And let me show you my kitchen here. So my kitchen is super wonderful. I just bought this new house this summer, and I'll give you a tour. It's so pretty, so nice. Granite countertops, room for all my appliances, and all the way around here, got the refrigerator. There's the entrance to the back garage there. And then this wall here is what I need your help with. And the same thing that LaTanya needs your help with is that it's blank. And we have a picture here that we want to hang. So my birthday was just on August 4th. And my twin sister here gave me this picture of Darth Vader and Harry Potter here to hang up in my kitchen. And what I want to do is I want to hang it on this wall over here. And I want it to be centered so that it looks nice. And so that it, doesn't become an eyesore in the middle of my kitchen. So what we're going to do here is pause the video here and think about it for a second. What would I do if I wanted to hang this picture up halfway between the edge of the wall here that goes out to the garage and the side of the wall there that goes out to the front? So there's this flat wall. What am I going to do? So those of you that never say, oh, I never use math in real life, proving you wrong right now. You're going to buy a house someday. And you're going to want to hang a picture on the wall, and you're going to want to be exactly in the middle. What are you going to do? So think about that for a second. Well, if you did what I did, you went over and you grabbed your tape measure, right? You grabbed your tape measure and you threw it down across the wall. And you said, well, how long is the wall? If I wanted to go exactly in the middle, I need to know how long the wall is total. And I'll tell you right now, I got 65 inches. 65 inches all the way across. And if I want to put a nail right there in the center, what do? Well, I take 65 and I divide it in half, which is going to give me what? 65 divided by 2 is 32 and a half. 32 and a half. So I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to go to 32 and a half. I'm going to make a little mark there with my pencil. Then I'm going to grab my hammer. I'm going to hammer a nail right into the wall. So here we go. I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to pop this nail right here into the wall. Bam, bam, bam. Boom. And wouldn't you know it, we can hang our picture up right here on the wall. And there he is. Doesn't that look nice? So, LaTanya and I share a very similar problem, and our solution is very similar. We use the midpoint, find the center of that wall, and then hang our picture up. I even went one step further. For Christmas, my mom and dad gave me my favorite kitchen photo here. I went one step further and I found the midpoint again. Not once, but twice. I found the midpoint again between the photo that we just hung up. And the wall. I found the midpoint again and I hung another nail for my other favorite photo to hang on the wall. And now here we are all together in my kitchen. So I'm glad you're here today. Let's jump back here and we'll finish those notes together and talk about the midpoint formula. Here we go. Okay, so the midpoint formula is going to divide a segment into two exactly even pieces, two congruent segments. We can grab our pen here, and we can go ahead and make those congruent marks that we learned in 1-1. Those are from your online notes, and if you haven't done those, make sure you do those. These are the marks for congruency. I'm going to add a dash here and a dash here. Pause the video if you need extra time to write this down, but the midpoint basically takes the center between the 2 points. So you're going to add the x values together and then divide by 2. Then you're going to add the y values together and divide by 2. And we're going to practice here, so don't worry. If you need more time to write it down, pause the video. Here we go. Our first example, we're going to find what the midpoint between A and B is. And this is our first look at what we're going to call coordinate geometry. We're looking at geometry, we're looking at points, lines, and planes on the coordinate grid. And I'm going to give you ordered pairs to work with that we're going to plug into formulas. So here we go. We're going to find the midpoint between A and B, and we can kind of estimate it before we start. Say self, where do I think the halfway-ish point is going to be between those? Well, I mean, we can take a guess here. We can say, okay, I think it's going to be somewhere in this-ish area that just looks like half-ish to me. And that's just a guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this formula. So we need to identify each different part of the formula. So x1 is going to be the x value from our first point. And if we're starting at A, this is going to be point 1, this is going to be point 2, and this is the x value of point 1. So this is x1. x2 is going to be the x value of the second point. y1 is going to be the y value of the first point, and y2 is going to be the y value of the second point. So I'm going to take those 4 numbers and I'm going to plug them into the midpoint equation. Here I go. So there's my formula, and this is what it looks like. -3 plus 4 divided by 2, comma, 2 plus -2 divided by 2. This is an ordered pair, so I'm just going to leave it as an ordered pair so I don't forget that that's what I'm working on. I'm finding an ordered pair. So now all I need to do is simplify. Going back to our algebra skills, we're just going to simplify down. -3 plus 4, of course, gives me 1, divided by 2, just follows through, so I'm ending up with that 1/2 right there. 2 plus -2 is 0, and 0 in the numerator is just fine. It's the denominator that it can't be in. So 0/2, we're good to go. Okay, so my final midpoint ends up being at 1/2, comma 0, and if I go over here and check, over 1/2 of 0 is right there. Is that within my estimated guess? Sure enough, so I'm pretty sure I got it right. Okay, take a second here, pause the video, and try these 2 problems on your own. Go. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to do that, and let's work through these 2 examples together. So we're going to find the midpoint from C to D, so first we need to identify those 4 different pieces, x1, y1, x2, y2, and we're going to plug them into our formula. -2 plus 8 over 2, comma, 5 plus -12 over 2. Now we just need to simplify this down. And that's the trickiest part here, is taking which numbers you need and plugging them into the right spot into the formula. So we're going to simplify that down. That's going to be 6 divided by 2, comma, -7 over 2. And 6 over 2 can simplify one step further to be a 3. And -7 over 2 can simplify to be -3.5. Sometimes your book is going to want those decimals. So if you don't get the fraction right for some reason, try the decimal. Number 2 is kind of more of the challenge problem, so we'll just zip through that pretty fast. It has the decimals, and that's where you might want your calculator. So x1, y1, x2, y2 come through, and your answer is going to be -1.85, comma, -5.4. And there's the work right there. All right, the second thing we're going to look at here today is the distance formula. So the distance is the length between 2 points. It's always a positive number. So if you ever get a negative distance, you've done something wrong. Go back and check your answer. Okay, we're going to take the square root of the difference between the x points now. In the midpoint formula, we add. In the distance formula, we subtract. So make sure you write that down. Put a little star below, distance formula subtracts. So we're going to take the difference between those x values, square it, and then add it to the difference between the y values and square it. Okay, and that'll give us the length of this line right here. Boom. So here we go. Let's do this example. So it's a word problem, and we have this baseball. So the pitcher is going to throw the ball to the batter, and the batter is going to hit the ball to the shortstop. And we want to know, what is the total distance traveled by the ball? And it says round your answer to the nearest tenth of a foot. So here's what we're going to do. We need to find the length of this purple line. So we'll start with the short line. And we'll say, okay, we're working in coordinate geometry, so let's throw some points down. The pitcher is going to be there at 5, 5, and I'm going to put the batter at 0, 0. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug it into my formula. 0 minus 5 squared plus 0 minus 5 squared, all of it square rooted. Negative 5, or 0 minus 5 is negative 5 squared plus negative 5 squared. We're going to get 25 plus 25, and that would be the distance of this length of this line is the square root of 50, which simplifies down to be about 7.1 units. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We already have the batter's coordinate, and that's going to be our first point for this longer line now. We're going to look at the long line. And then we're going to put the shortstop here at 5, 10. So now this is x1, and this is y, or x2. And here we go. So we're going to grab our formula. 5 minus 0 squared plus 10 minus 0 squared. And so we're going to start at 0 and go to the shortstop, and that's what it'll look like. So we'll have the square root of 5 squared plus 10 squared. That'll be 25 plus 100, square root of 125. If you don't know how to put it into your calculator, make sure you ask your teacher to show you next time, or ask someone you know and love and trust. The distance of that second purple line is going to be 11.2, but are we done with the problem yet? Of course not, because it asked us to find the total distance traveled round to the nearest tenth of a foot. These two numbers, these are not in feet. These are in units, are they not? These are in units. And what do we learn from the key of our picture here? That 1 unit is equal to 9 feet. Okay, so we're going to add these two numbers together. We're going to take 7.1 plus 11.2, and that'll give us 18.3 units. We're going to multiply that by 9, and our final answer is 164.7 feet. Okay, here's one for you to try. Pause that video, give it a shot. You're going to find how far the ball is from the shortstop to the first baseman, and there's a hint to get you started. Hopefully you pause the video, had a chance to do that. Here's your answer. Take the distance formula, 10 minus 5 squared plus 0 minus 10 squared. Simplify it down. You're going to get the square root of 125. You're going to tap that into your calculator. You should have got 11.18 units, but the fun's not done. Got to multiply that by 9 so that you get our final answer. Should be 100.6 feet. And there you have it. Concepts for today. Make sure you know the midpoint formula. Make sure you know the distance formula. Make sure you write them down, memorize them, love them. They're your friends. And we will use them again, I'm sure. And that's all I've got for you today. So what I need you to do is head over to Canvas, or to the textbook actually, and do the Math Excel lab, or Math Excel problems. Those are due today by midnight. And then also, if you haven't done the lesson quizzes for these two units or these two chapters already, go do those. The lesson quizzes for 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3 are all due by Sunday at midnight. So you have a few extra time, or you have a little bit extra time to do those. Make sure if you have a question that you're reaching out to your teacher, shoot us an email, send us something that tells us that we need to help you, and we are happy to do so. This was fun today. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.